Welcome.
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 Welcome to the July tasting of the Classic Series. I'm here with co-host Ed Masciana, author of Shortcuts on Wine, and all-around great guy.
All around.
As far as he knows.
A great guy.
You know, we were talking before we started the shoot here, and the wines coming into the shop right now, the tasting room, are incredible.
Well, then why are we tasting this stuff?
I don't know.
These are phenomenal, though.
I cannot believe the level of quality for the prices. They were saying that this economy wasn't going to affect the wine business.
Oh, it's affected it big time.
It's affected it big time.
Big time.
And so you and I, and you, are the recipients of this great thing. And starting with this incredible German Riesling that I haven't done. When was the last time I did a German wine?
I think before there was a Germany.
Yeah, right. So
I think it was still part of the Prussian
East
Empire.
Berlin, I think. We were talking about a gentleman named Henry Price, who was out of Ramona, who used to bring great German wines, and Ed was talking about some of the deals he used to get from him. And that was probably the last one we did, which was probably 10 years ago. And this came to our desk. I couldn't believe the price. I couldn't believe the quality, and only confirmed by you when you walked into my office this morning saying how great you thought the wine was.
Oh yeah, this was amazing. Matter of fact, when I first got the information on this wine, I just assumed it was California, because there's no way you could sell a wine like this or this quality from Germany. First of all, because of the euro being so high and the dollar being so low, then they got to bottle it and they got to ship it over here and all the other stuff, and go, then how good can it be? And it was absolutely amazing.
No, it's
God.
You know what I like about it is it's lean. It's a little leaner than most, right?
Amazing. It tastes just like really good German Riesling, which are getting very expensive now.
They're very expensive.
Primarily because of the exchange rate. You know, the exchange rate's killing everything that's coming from Europe.
Color is nice golden yellow. It's perfect color for the wine that it's supposed to be. The nose has got that faint kerosene, very light, but lots of apricot and tropical.
Oh yeah, and slate. One thing you get in German Rieslings you don't get in any other wine in the world is slate, and I almost can't explain it to you. You have to smell it, and once you do, it's kind of like what water smells like after it's been on hot, wet concrete. I know that may not sound too good.
It's delicious.
But it
sounds delicious.
But it gives it a complexity that you don't normally get in any other wine.
A little peach in the nose. And
Absolutely.
Palate. And then the finish kind of hangs around. Even though it's a lighter Riesling, it still hangs around. It's still tasting it after a few seconds.
What's interesting is that even though German Rieslings aren't a huge part of the American lexicon, for the last 5 years in a row, they've had the biggest increases in imports in the United States over anything else.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, they're growing by 20 and 30%. Now, granted, when you compare it against Australian wine and Italian wine and even Chilean wine, the numbers are much smaller for German wines, but their percentages of increases are huge.
Well, maybe we'll be seeing more of these then.
Well, I think we are. You know, the problem right now is except for something like this, which is an anomaly, they're very expensive. I mean, I remember when you get a really good German wine for $10.
Right.
And it wasn't that long ago. It was, after dinosaurs roamed the earth.
And it wasn't leaf front milk.
And it wasn't really front milk or blue milk.
Yep. Anyway, enjoy that. I gave this wine an 89, and I think maybe it's worth more than that for the price. I mean, for $9.99 for Riesling, this is really worth like a 91 in my opinion.
At least, yeah, 92.
The first one went out at the retail would be $13.95. You paid $8.99 for the first one, and you can buy more at $5.99.
At $13.99, this is a steal.
Can I raise the price now?
Yeah, too late. It's already printed. You heard it first here. No getting around it.
$5.99.
Mine's a 91 rating.
All right.
Yeah. And my price is $20, by the way.
Take it for 20. You want a case for $20 bottle? I'll sell it to you.
What a guy.
The red wine for this month in July is a 2005 Merlot from Monterey County. And what's impressed me about this wine was, hey, look at the color. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really how indigenous it is to its terroir, because it really has Monterey all over the nose. The color is gorgeous. Merlot, you're not going to find it like this at this price. And it's I've seen it for $15.95 all over the web, all over the different websites, like $15.95. And you'll see in a minute that it's...
Well, the winemaker for this, Alison Crow, really interesting girl. She grew up in the background of raising vegetables and plants and art, and so between the two, I guess they kind of blended. And she's now making artistic Merlot, or actually all the wines that they make there. She and her husband did a little stint for a year, I think, in Argentina, and learned some interesting things there that you wouldn't learn at UC Davis in California.
What surprises me is the youth of the color. So 2005, but it's showing color of a 2008.
Yeah, but don't forget, 2005 was a phenomenal vintage all over the world. It's one of those universal vintages, absolutely unbelievable everywhere.
And the nose has just got all kinds of cranberry.
This wine should have been in the limited series.
It's really good.
this thing
Sometimes
is,
I retaste these wines and I'm like, wow, this is really good.
How many times have you heard that, ladies and gentlemen? He's got to retaste the wines and re-rate them than what he did originally. See, if you'd have had this in the limited series for $20, nobody would have batted an eyelash. Not a word. At $10.98 on the first one and $7.99 on the second one.
The thing about it, for the price, it's got way more depth than wines of this character, or this price range of the markets.
Absolutely.
I mean, the complexity in the middle is huge. It just keeps going layer after layer after layer.
Well, I don't know if you can see this, but my God, when you swirl the glass, the wine coming back down.